Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
Hey, this guy is a rock star to us. Trevor Tyson. He is the owner and chief strategist of Transparent Media Company, and also fearisaliar.com. You can go there. What a legend. Trevor, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm just happy to be here on Faith Talk Live with my nice, beautiful mug that people need to be able to purchase somewhere. So whenever your producers
give those away when people would come in the studio, whenever we, had a studio that we could go to back.
Yeah, I love the mug. I think you need to bring it back. So
right.
Do it.
Hey, we love having you in the show, and you've been a busy guy, and you've helped us a lot. You've brought us some great guests over the years. Last two guests, listen to this: Jimmy Cravity and Todd Tillman. And I was like, really? How did you do that? How did you hook up with these guys?
Yeah, it's a crazy journey, but this year I started Transparent Media Company and do a lot of PR and marketing, branding projects for some pretty well-known people, and it's just been a blessing to walk alongside these people in their journey, especially Todd, who won The Voice last year. That's probably the funniest connection out of all of them. It's like, oh, that's random, but Todd's just an excellent dude, and I'm glad that y'all were able to have him on the show, and Jimmy, and potentially some more people. So being able to help these people get their message out has been a blessing to me. It's almost therapeutic. So making the best out of this quarantine life. 2 businesses started during a pandemic, and maybe we'll go for 4. I don't know.
Now, how did you hook up with Todd? It was fun talking to him and just hearing kind of some of the behind the scenes of The Voice and how that all worked. But how'd you guys get hooked up?
So I was doing some work with another PR agency that he was signed with, and we kind of connected through that. And I was helping out with his social media stuff. And I don't know, just like a brotherhood spark there, and now we're inseparable, I guess.
Aw.
Maybe that's one way. I don't know if he said anything.
No, he didn't say anything, but
I'm fired.
Yeah, no. Fired.
Now he was a great guy, and obviously, he's got talent, and he was on The Voice and stuff. He was the winner last year, but just a quality guy, and Jimmy Cravity as well. So we appreciate what you did there. And it's interesting too. Since we've known you, you don't do small projects. You don't just sit around the house watching old reruns or on the YouTube watching Jimmy Fallon bits.
No, he does that
too. You are pretty innovative and an entrepreneur, and just have a passion that's really beyond your years, I think. Kind of explain that. How come you're like that? I think it's awesome.
From the time I met you guys, I was, I believe the first or the second time I was on the show, I was promoting the Together event in DC. And then from there, it was like talking about overcoming anxiety and all of those things. And you guys have got to see like a front row view of the different seasons that I've been in life. And I've always had that entrepreneurial type spirit within me, but I never really gained the confidence until I was in a position of like, okay, I can find something to do, or I can create my dream job, because there's really no dream job for anyone out there that's really going to satisfy them until you like put everything aside, chase your calling, pursue your passions, and do etc. And one of the things that God's really been working on me is, for so many years, I was looking for a mattress to fall on when he really wanted to give me the key to the house. So it just comes down to like, am I willing to sacrifice my life chasing a paycheck and working for someone else and living a mediocre, ordinary life? Or am I willing to be transparent with myself, be vulnerable, and step out and actually believe that, oh, he does want to give me the key to the house. I'm not looking for a 30-year-old mattress to fall on someone else's guest room or in their living room. And it's just a powerful thing to realize for yourself that, you know what, I'm not made to be average. I'm willing to risk my home. I'm willing to risk everything and chase this dream that God's given me. And especially with Transparent Media Company, started this year, it was just kind of like I decided I was going to do it. And the next day I got the LLC license, and the next day I had my first client. And like, here we are 3 weeks in, and we've got some really big clients. And of course I'm team oriented, so I keep saying we, but like, up until 2 days ago, it was just me. 3 weeks in, and I've been doing the PR and marketing and such for quite a while now. And especially for myself, like with Trevor Talks, I did all my own booking and everything. So everything that I've learned over the past 10 years, I'm able to implement and help other people that want help getting their messages out and help them grow their brand and build logos, podcast cover arts for albums, singles, creative direction for music videos, all of the things. The Lord's given me a really big visionary heart, visionary purpose, and being able to hone in on that and help people chase their kingdom calling has been one of the most satisfying things I've ever done in my life. Mm-hmm. So it's to answer your question with all of that, you know, I've always known I'm not a normal person. There's nothing wrong with normal. I think everybody has a little bit of a message inside of them that if they really hone in on and chase it, that they can change the world one person at a time with.
Wow, that's so good. Trevor Tyson, love talking to him. Talk a little bit about the hard work, because it is hard work. There's been tons of sacrifices and probably voices in your head, maybe voices on the outside saying, Trevor, you're crazy. But you know what? You did the hard work, not only the obedience to take a step, but you know, it's been probably day and night of hard work and sacrifices. And talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I'm glad that you bring that up, because a lot of people are like, oh, that was an overnight success. No, like there's 10 years of groundwork that's been laid for everything to happen. And there are going to be sleepless nights. There's going to be a ton of anxiety. There's going to be a ton of days where you're like, why the heck am I doing this? Why didn't I just go find a mattress to lay on? But it's so fulfilling at the end of the day. I love chasing the adrenaline. I love chasing I love the whole chasing aspect of entrepreneurship. Like, oh, this might work. This might not work. If it does, awesome. If it didn't, not only did I fail, but I succeeded in trying. Therefore, it's a success because I know how not to do it next time. Mm-hmm. But the hard work is just one piece of it. If God gives you a vision, I don't believe he's just going to hand you everything over. Like, a lot of people are afraid to talk about the hard work that goes behind it. Of course, I did as well. But the more I'm starting to realize is if you don't talk about the hard work, you're feeding people false expectations.
Yes.
Also, it's not being cocky to say, hey, I did this. I built this. God gave me the vision and guided me the whole way. But it's not like he was like literally pulling my hand up to do everything. No, like, it's going to take weeks and weeks and weeks and maybe even years. And if you're willing to make that risk and work a 9-to-5 job and build these things, there's no telling what you can accomplish, but it's not going to happen overnight. There's some quote unquote overnight successes that we hear about, and they run along with it and give you a false expectation. It's like, oh, this happened overnight, but I can guarantee you there's at least a few days of groundwork going into it. And for a lot of people, Stephen Stanley, artist friend of mine, got signed to Capitol before the pandemic started, blew up on TikTok afterwards. There's most of his life pouring into that. Mm-hmm. Especially Jimmy Cravity, Todd Tillman. Todd was a pastor for years. Jimmy Cravity's been a worship leader for years before he even hit the spotlight. So if you have a dream, chase it. If you have a vision and you think it's too small, chase it. Create that big dream idea for yourself. But when it comes down to people that are going to be naysayers, when it comes down to what you're doing, telling you that you're not good enough to do something, that you're crazy for chasing it. Sometimes the people you love the most are just trying to look out for you. Like, Trevor, you need to go get a consistent paycheck. You need to stay at AT&T. You need to do this. You need to do that. If they're telling you what you need to do without asking you why you're doing it, it's probably not the advice you want anyway. It could be your parents, your grandparents, your family, your friends. They just don't understand. And it's biblical. Like, not everybody's going to understand you. You're willing to walk away from your family to do this. And if the answer is yes, it's probably a calling on your life, and you can consult with God about that. I'm not.
Uh-oh.
He's really good about being still.
Yeah, look at that. He's He's getting a word from the Lord right now.
There he is.
I just got a live stream in, and the Lord told me that was a correct word. Not really. That would be an incorrect word.
Yeah.
But yeah, just if people start telling you what you need to do without knowing the mission and the heart behind what you're doing, it's not the answers that you're going to want. Chase God first and let him lead you on it. If he's called you to do some hard work, if you get 10 years in and you still feel like it's something you want to do and it's just not happening, look at the failure and the success that's come along with it, and just run from it. Like, what have I learned and how can I implement it differently next time? So don't be afraid of the hard work. Don't be afraid of the blood, sweat, and tears. Now, if you start bleeding a ton, like you might want to reevaluate, but for the most part, keep chasing that success that you see, and God's going to bless it for you.
That's a good word.
Years ago, I read the Steve Jobs biography, and I was fascinated by it. Of course, I'm an Apple owner, but I was fascinated by his passion, even in the times it looked like he was going to fail. But a lot of investors, when he was kind of ginning stuff up, they said, we're only investing because we don't know much about the product. We're investing in you because we believe in you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a lot of it. And your passion is amazing.
You know, Steve Jobs got fired from his own company at one point, and Walt Disney was told that he didn't have enough innovation and enough imagination, and he ended up creating Walt Disney World. Disney creating, kind of paving a way for all of the people to get into now. Like, Disney is one of the biggest companies in the world. And then Apple, obviously, like, I've got an iPhone, a Mac, an iPad Pro, AirPods, like all around this house, like Apple TVs in both of the rooms. Like, it's a household thing that people use nowadays. And like I said, Steve Jobs got fired from Apple. He had to come back, and, you know, we're using the iPhone that he created and envisioned, and they're still running off of it to this day. So I don't know what their exact net worth is as a company, but I don't think they're hurting at all, and their stocks just tend to keep going up. So just take that as motivation. You know, I've failed, I've been fired from different ventures, and you just got to keep going and believe that there is a passion there. Like, when I was working 9 to 5 with AT&T, I was really good at what I did. I became a top sales rep in the company, got sent to Cancun, the beach that kind of looks like Dan's got behind him right there. But it's like, whatever I do, I just want to be the best at it. And that was a mindset I had with AT&T, but there comes a certain extent to where it can become unhealthy, and realizing that and honing your passions in on what is actually going to be beneficial for you long-term and not just a short-term. Trevor Talks just signed a marketing deal with a podcast network called Edify, which is created by the Christian Post. And now we're up there with Sadie Robertson and Duck Dynasty and all these, like Greg Laurie. Like, I'm like, what the heck happened here?
Wow.
Awesome. That's great, man.
Yeah. Like, we haven't even posted about it yet, but it's like, I live in Social Circle, Georgia. Like we were talking before we got on here, you know, people ask me all the time, did you move to Nashville or this place or that? And it's like, no, I'm going to bring it to Social Circle. Let's go. We'll see the
Social Circle on the map. It's Trevor Tyson right there.
Yeah. Like everybody's looking at the New York City skyline above me, and I'm just looking to put that little well in the middle of the city there and the one stoplight on the map. So that's not the dream, but if it happens, I wouldn't be disappointed.
There you go.
That's so awesome. Tyson, lost my notes. Trevor Tyson, and we're talking to him, owner and chief strategist of Transparent Media Co. And also fearisaliar.com is a great place to go to. I smell a book coming out pretty soon. It's I could have stayed on the mattress, but I've got the keys to the house. I think that would make a great book. Trevor's story, I think it's amazing. So we're looking forward to talking to him about that pretty soon. What do you think?
Yeah, so there's definitely conversations happening that aren't really
He's getting a word from the Lord again here. Look, and he looks so angelic the way he's just looking up right there.
Sorry, I was getting another word from the Lord.
And he's back. There we go.
I could see about 2 or 3 in the future, but I'm
Awesome.
definitely praying about that and seeing where God wants to make that happen. And if he does make it happen, you'll hear about it. If he doesn't make it happen, then we'll just keep grinding with the resources that we have in front of us.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Tell everybody how they can follow you and how they can listen to you, listen to the podcast and more.
Yeah, if you go to Google and just type in Trevor Talks, everything will pop up at the front. You'll see a picture of me going like, or something like that with the Trevor Talks logo. Across all social media platforms, it's at Trevor Talks and at Trevor Talks Podcast. And then, of course, fearsaliar.co, and the podcast is available everywhere. So no specific platform. And now we're on Edify. So edify.app/Trevor Talks, and you can find everything there as well.
Awesome. Trevor, we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.